Hi, this is Ron Martinelli from the Street Safe Defense Firearms Program in Temecula, California. Today we're going to be dealing with sudden attacks with an edged weapon, and we're going to deal with defending from a forward lunging stab maneuver. We're going to be creating distance, and then we're going to be deploying defensive force. Now let's speak very briefly about combatives. You want to make sure that whenever you're attacked, no matter from the front, the side, and the rear, you always remember to do three things very quickly. Number one, contract your body, and that means get all your muscle groups together. Make sure that you have your hands up in a defensive posture with your elbows in, and you make sure that your hands are no higher than your throat. We want to be able to block any slashes coming through the throat area and from the thoracic area, especially with an edged weapon, and you want to make sure that you keep your elbows in to avoid any type of slashing and severing of arteries, which could be fatal. I'd rather have the person slash to the outer muscle area, maybe to the bone, instead of having my arms open. So your stance should be like this. Basically, you have a dominant foot, you keep that in front, and your support leg, which is your firearm side, is behind you. You want to always keep your hips in direction of force. In other words, where your assailant is, you want to always make sure that your hips are facing that person, because all these techniques, the strength, comes from the hips. And when you fight them and when you maneuver, you want to maneuver in such a way that you direct their hips away from you. And that goes for any type of combative, whether it's strikes or whether it's going for a firearm. Go. All right, let's take this technique point by point. The first thing that we want to do is we want to step off the line of attack when someone comes into us. And then we don't want to try to grab the weapon or anything. We want to use gross motor movements to strike and trap that weapon at the same time. We're going to trap that weapon into our body and especially our hip. We're going to make sure that we've maneuvered in such a way that we direct our force and our hips towards our assailant, but you'll notice that his hips are directed away from me. And then we're going to continue with breaking a shoulder system with a very harsh linear strike to the shoulder system while I twist my hips so that we can snap that shoulder system. I don't want that person to even be able to pick up that weapon again and try to attack me. Once I've accomplished that, I'm going to use a temporal strike to the head to deliver a knockout. I'm going to do a foot sweep. He'll go backwards, the weapon will go forwards if it isn't out already. I'm going to disengage and access my concealed weapon. So let's take a look at this in a slower pace. Step off the line of attack. Trap this weapon as you snap your hips. That will dislocate or break this shoulder. You can come down with a forward elbow strike, just straight down, because you're in a great position to do that. Straight down. You've got him off balance, you're on balance. Use a good temporal strike, use a knife edge or a hammer fist temporal strike to the head, take him back, leg sweep him, back, disengage, access your weapon, game over. And that's your training tip for today. Ron Martinelli, Street Safe Defense, Temecula, California. You're going to keep your hands up. He comes in, just sidestep, block this weapon, and break that shoulder. Once that shoulder is broken, that weapon's going to go down. And then, while you're doing this, if you can get a temporal shot, take a temporal shot. You can also further break that shoulder or the elbow by doing a straight down elbow strike, straight down, creating distance, accessing your weapon. Okay, you've got him down here. Do a temporal shot right here. You can also take that opportunity to further break that shoulder or that elbow. Just do a downward elbow strike. You're in a great position to do that. Oh, yeah. From here. And then just disengage. Get your weapon out. Game over. And that's your